Merry late Christmas, guys. Let's kiss under the misogyny. Yep. Did you really think I would kiss you? Did you? Because I didn't. My only missions here on Earth are to be a misogynist. I can't even spell that word correctly. To look like a water stain on concrete after someone splashes through a puddle. And to participate in some advanced media transmission form called podcasts that are probably recorded in some random basement and include incredibly beautiful women who I then kiss under the misogyny. Yeah. Did you really think that I kissed women besides my mom? Because you sound like a real brainless earthworm right now. I don't get women, okay? I just don't get game. A week ago, a clip from those reeking male podcasts popped up on my TikTok For You page, and being fresh out of the psych ward known as time complexity, I liked the TikTok and watched it again at least 5 more times. Unsurprisingly, more morsels of these low intelligence cries for help showed up, and like Thanos, I suddenly had collected enough Infinity Stones to make a video. So here we are.
I think that it's 100% the women's fault. 100%. Because it's like, all right. You put a piece of meat in front of a tiger, you can't be mad he ate it. You put the piece of meat right in front of him.
I'm sure you guys have seen her face around before. If not on social media, then maybe in studies that verify the existence of a person so full of self-hatred that it makes everyone wonder how it's scientifically possible. Or maybe you have seen her wrapped around some man's neck to help him get game, because she cannot, even just for a single second, get game herself, despite her beliefs that kiss a bunch of men's booty cheeks. Anyway, Pearl is known to identify with the boys and hate on women because she's not like other girls. But I honestly think she's going too far in comparing women to meat right now.
Now, I know everyone will say, Pearl, don't compare women to meat. But I will. I just did.
Alright, that's my bad, Pearl. Sorry for impeding your First Amendment rights. I actually understand where you're coming from with the meat part and all. Some men just can't hold themselves back enough that they even mention it at their wedding.
I promise to smack ass every chance I get. That's all I got.
Are you sure?
I didn't write nothing down.
That's what you're going out with?
That's what I'm going with.
Cool.
We've made it this long.
Now, yeah, because men are in control of relationships, women are in control of sex. So we pick who we sleep with, men who pick who they wife.
Where's our logic at right now? I need his 1-800 after hearing what Pearl just said. Okay, let's apply intelligent and bright Pearl's logic to this handy-dandy little chart I just made. We know for a fact that men control who they wife and women control sex. Obviously, we also know that tigers eat meat, especially if the meat is placed in front of them. And if we use a tiny bit of our brains to decipher this fantastic metaphor, we can deduce that women do not, in fact, control sex if tigers, aka men, eat meat just because it is in front of them. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
You could be on a yacht with billionaires tomorrow if you wanted to. I have to bid to be on that yacht. I have to at least become a millionaire or billionaire to even get a chance to get invited on the yacht if they even give me a chance. Versus you, 19 years old, accomplished nothing in your life, still young, barely out of high school, and you're able to work elbows with the elite. I have to earn my ability to be with the elite. That's why we're not the same. You play chess, right? The queen can go a million different spaces in different directions. One of the most powerful pieces on the board. But you need the king to win the game. If the king is surrounded, the game is over. But you can always replace the queen by getting a pawn to the other side. Men and women are not the same.
If he was jealous that he couldn't use his natural beauty to get on a yacht like he is hypothesizing the girl can, he could have just said so instead of drafting a whole ass essay to diss women and including in it the stupidest fucking metaphor I have ever heard. Why the hell does it matter that the queen can be replaced when it's actually useful? Unlike the king, who can only move 1 square at a time and can't be replaced. So as soon as it's captured, you lose. I'm not even gonna try analyzing his metaphor anymore, because just thinking about it gives me early onset dementia.
And I'm sure there are also women billionaires out there looking for young men
who have accomplished nothing in their entire life to invite onto their yacht. What do you mean there's none? You mean it's usually men who are doing this kind of predatory behavior, and that they often target both women and men? What a surprise.
and don't get paid more than women because they do. Mm-hmm.
Women earn less because they deserve less. The reason why women earn less on average is because women work less hours, they work less dangerous jobs, they don't work career fields that are higher earning, and women are less likely to take as many risks as men are to earn income. That the top 10 paying jobs, right, are dominated by men versus the top least paying jobs are dominated by women because women don't have the same interests as men. Women get paid less because of choice. Women dominate college, yet they still earn less. They dominate college graduation, yet they still earn less. Women go into majors that pay less because of choice. They want to go into social sciences and not STEM. When you actually equate apples to apples, right, all working individuals with the same profession, same career, same education, same experience, etc., women actually earn more than men.
Most of what this guy is saying is actually true. Women do actually work in less dangerous jobs than men because such jobs, like construction work, are incredibly biased towards men. Historically, men have been perceived as being physically stronger and so less likely to get injured than women, which means that hiring men in dangerous jobs tends to be more beneficial for employers. The part about men dominating the highest paying fields and women dominating the lowest paying fields is also very true. But that's only because the highest paying fields have historically been reserved for men who have had a leg up on women since the beginning of times. Keep in mind the fact that women in the US only got the right to vote in 1911, and men have probably had every right in the world since the world started. I'm going to stop here because no matter how many corrections I make to their misinterpretation of actual factual data, these misogynists will never admit that they're in the wrong. They'll just resort to commenting things like this with the most dead looks in their eyes.
You can see what her opinions are. Women shouldn't have the right to divorce. She thinks that women should be able to...
No one can prove me wrong that they are just robots programmed to repeat the same arguments, and when they encounter an error, aka fed facts, they shut down and talk like a 1-year-old who is incapable of thinking for themselves and just repeating everything they learned from external stimuli, aka other misogynists.
You want to be a fat hoe? Fantastic!
The podcast should just end here. It's perfect. Just swap B for have, and farmers would love to hear what he has to say.
But don't expect me to sit here, bust my ass, become a self-made multi-fucking-millionaire, get my clout up, get my status up, and accept you, bitch! Fuck out of here! Because when I was 18 years old, playing fucking Halo, figuring out my life, no bitch would have taken me.
I don't think anyone needs to be expecting him to bust his ass because I'm pretty sure he is already busting his ass with anger and hatred, sitting down and recording this podcast, which is the most fucking dangerous job around, mind you. The amount of hate that this guy has towards women is just funny. Who hurt his little ego by saying they preferred a well-off man when he approached them? Maybe he should consider the facts that it might be his personality and insecurities, and not wealth or height or Halo player status or whatever. Because if Howell can pull chicks for this damn ugly and in shambles looking house that screams he is poor, men can do anything, okay? Who is he looking at? Other men? For what? For male validation? So he wants male validation. Male validation. Male validation. Let that sink in.
So now that I'm up, you're down, fuck that shit, I'm gonna exercise the leverage. You want to be with a guy like me? You need to be at your fucking prime.
Assuming that he means a stable job, a stable income, and being healthy and fit, something along those lines, when saying at the prime stage, I'm sure most women who just became adults or are in their early 20s are not at their prime or whatever. Most are still figuring out their lives like he did at 18, but they're not playing Halo. Age and prime years are not in a causation relationship where a woman's prime peaks when they are at least 30 years younger than you. Desiring someone who is successful is not strange, but desiring someone who is successful and much younger than you is a very prison-like activity. No one is batting an eye if you say you like someone younger than you by 5 or 7 years, if they are an adult and you have not been counting the seconds until they turn 18 to say so.
But we're in a crazy world where men can't have standards. A guy can't even say, I want younger women anymore. He can't even say that shit, even though it's biologically ingrained in men to want women when they're in their peak years. But no one bats a fucking eye when a bitch says, I want a guy that's 6 foot tall plus.
He's so angry that I genuinely think he has lost his mind. Just a little bit. Just a teeny tiny little bit. Because there's probably no difference when you talk to him normally anyway. I'm also pretty sure he didn't mean to make it sound like he was comparing men who can't say they want younger women and women wanting men past a certain height, because it just makes him sound so silly. He's so silly. Just a little. Just a teeny tiny little bit, because there's literally zero difference between being weird and borderline predatory and having a type.
No one says shit! That's out of your control as a man. You can't be 6 feet tall just because, but a bitch is definitely in control of how much she weighs. But if I say no fat bitches, they get mad. Ridiculous!
You can have a type and not be a scum about it, you know? That sentence could have ended this entire ramble because he probably got shamed for saying some stupid shit and hating on overweight people. And now he translates that hate onto the entire woman population because his little ego got hurt and he just can't stop thinking about that moment and the embarrassment before his bedtime at 10 p.m.
If you're a woman who has gone through your education, you've dedicated yourself to achieving a degree, you know, your mother's generation wasn't able to achieve this, and you're the first person that's maybe gone to uni or got a bachelor's or got a master's or got a PhD, and then you spend some time in a career grinding away and you're now on 150 grand a year, you think, right, I'm 31, I'd love to settle down, this would be amazing for me. Hang on a second. And what you realize is that not only now are you competing with all of the other increasing cohort of women that are high achievers with status, employment, and education, but you're also competing with a 21-year-old barista who still lives at home with her parents for this small cohort of guys.
The way he's phrasing his argument feels like he's saying that women can't multitask. We can't pursue higher education or our careers and date. Nuh-uh. Women's brains aren't built for that. In fact, our brains are so women that we can't live without men. So at 31 years old, we enter a competition and fight to the death with other women to win over a small cohort of men and then slave away for them for the rest of our lives.
This huge cohort of sexless men, 30% of men haven't had sex in the last year, 50% of men say that they are not looking for a relationship, and they're self-identifying as this in Pew Research data.
Where's the data on women? Because I'm sure somewhere around that mark or even higher, are women not willing to date men, considering how many misogynistic podcasts and outlooks there are today?
When they say I'm not looking for a relationship, they mean I'm not looking for a woman or I'm not looking for commitment.
Yes, maybe these 50% of men are looking for men instead because they hate women so much they have turned to loving men.
If you, as a wife, don't support your husband cheating, are you really his wife or are you the moral police?
Yep.
Men deserve to cheat.
Yeah.
It's biologically ingrained in their DNA in the Y chromosome.
This one is educated. I agree.
Which women don't have, so they must not cheat.
She's definitely for the boys.
And honestly, what's with females these days wanting their man to do everything?
Yep. Yeah.
From taking out the trash to showering once a day?
That's
if
what
you
I was
don't want your
saying.
man the way he is, some other female younger and more successful than you will snatch him up.
She knows what she's talking
this
about.
one, boys.
See how you like it when you're expired and out of the dating market at 25 and no man wants you.
She knows science.
I can't believe females are allowed to have standards these days.
That's what I was
Back
saying.
in my day, the only thing females could do was be a housewife, and that was already too much
Yep.
freedom.
She's spitting facts.
Why can't we go back to those days when a house costed 2 kernels of corn
She's so not like
and
other
females had no
girls.
right to vote?
This is an independent female right here.